Alright, so as you can see, it's time to get into it. These are my char-grilled wings from the grill, straight from home. Okay, let's get into it. So I decided to do wings on this day because it was like, I don't know, it was just one of those weekends where you just kind of chill and you don't do anything and you just wait and see what is going to happen and all the things. So as you can see, these wings turned out really good. They have a really nice char grilled look. And let me give you a little secret. So one of the ingredients that we added is brown sugar. Brown sugar causes the grill marks like that because sugar burns, it caramelizes, and that's what you have, is that nice glazed look. Yum. Eat it up. Okay. I have never made these grilled wings before, but I know that they're at Hooters. And first of all, who gonna drive across the street and go to Hooters when I can do it at home? So here we go. This is where I use lemon or lime to go ahead and clean my chicken wings. These wings I got from the fresh food market, and not only that, but I normally put them in another bowl to separate it from the water that it was kind of unthawing in. And so I put another bowl, and what you're going to see me do is kind of go through them. I am wearing gloves, okay, because y'all not going to eat me up like I did last time. What we not going to do is that. You're not going to eat me up like I did last time, okay? So as I transfer this, I'm really trying to make sure that I don't splash. I think sometimes when you're dealing with juices and you're dealing with, raw foods and all the contaminants, the worst thing you can do is keep splashing, okay? And you get it all over the place and everywhere, and it's just not it. It's not what you want to do, okay? So I'm letting the water out of the sink, and I'm going to go ahead and pour that, whatever juice down the drain, so that when I put this in the trash can, it doesn't drip, or if there's a hole in the trash can or the trash bag, it doesn't cause any problems or any issues. All right, so with that being said, one of the things I do is I do use in efforts of me not, having to go to the garbage can and do all the things, I always keep a plastic bag just next to me so that I can make sure that, I can, not have to touch the trash can. That's just my thing. You may have another way of doing it. I'm always interested to see how people survive when they're dealing with raw meats. Like, raw meats are one of those things you just be like, listen, hit me out. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things that you get kind of nervous about, and you're just like, I definitely want to make sure I stay clean as possible. So in this case, I am using a lemon zest to clean my meat, and I'm getting all the lemon out because, first of all, who gonna go back to the store and pay for these lemons? So I do a nice wash. Like, the way that I wash my meat, you would think I was washing an infant. Okay, I think I come from a family where they're like they pay very close attention to what you do in the kitchen, and they can tell that you don't know how to cook based on how you clean your meat. That is always a telltale indicator of like, like, what you doing. So I'm always very careful of how I do that. Again, I am, as you can see, my water is cloudy. So the way that I clean my meat, I also add lime juice. I try to get it as clean as possible. So I want the water to be very, very clear. That's how I do mine. You may have another way of doing yours, but I try to make sure that my meat is just like, I don't want any cloudiness in my water. I don't want any, I'm just real funny about stuff like that. That's not for me, okay? All right, so I never really feel like my meat is clean. If it's cloudy, if the water's cloudy, I feel like my meat is not clean. And who won't do a double wash? Let me tell you something about me. I have this fear of getting people sick. And it's not happened before, but I'm just like OCD with it. But also, one of the things I learned is when you use something acidic to clean your meat, it helps the taste of I don't know, it just helps the food taste fresher. And that's why I use lime juice. I use lime juice. It's almost like a neutralizer, but I'm pretty sure it's not right. But anyways, so I'm going back in and I'm giving it another spin. Yep, I'm giving it a spin because I want this to be nice, fresh, and good. And I'm just real funny about stuff like that. So I'm gonna finish doing this and I'm gonna show you what to do after you're done washing your meat. Alright, so here's where I decide to add all my other stuff. So I did add a little bit of lemon juice to this. So what I'm going to do is marinate my chicken. I think that a really good marinade will help change, how chicken tastes. Now, too much lemon can turn that to lemon chicken. So just be careful. Just trust me on that. Too much chicken can turn that to lemon chicken. But because I'm going to make like a citrusy, a mango pepper seasoning with this, the citrus is okay. So I add olive oil. Olive oil really does help, your meat not to stick to the grill. I'm already going to coat it with olive oil, but I just like to make sure. Okay, I'm going to add some soy sauce. Why do we add soy sauce? Soy sauce is really good for flavoring. Although these are not Asian zing wings, I am still going to use it to help enhance my flavor. At the very least, you need to make sure that you salt your meat well, that you season it well, because what you don't put on it is going to show up after you finish grilling. This is the brown sugar that I'm adding. If you see me stopping, it's because, first of all, the person who was giving me instructions on how to do this was like, add a little brown sugar, and I add a little brown sugar. And let me tell you something, I don't normally grill, okay? This is my first time grilling. So I'm like, so he said, add a little brown sugar. I add a little brown sugar. And he said, add some more. So then I add some more, okay? So you're going to see me hit that brown sugar twice. Then after I do my brown sugar, I add salt. Let me tell you something. Even after adding that much salt, either my taste buds are off or it wasn't enough salt. Because, salt really does bring out the flavor in food. Okay? And you're going to need enough so you can taste your meat. Alright? Pause. I also added pepper. I will tell you that if you're going to, let's say you want to make a sauce, right? I did, and this is sherry. And I don't mean your coworker. This is cherry aged wine because I like to be different, and I'm gonna marinate that. But what I'm going to tell you is, salt and pepper are the basic seasonings for any type of wings. If you do this right, you can actually make your own sauce. So even though the wings are going to be grilled, you can come back and do like a mango pepper or lemon pepper wing after that, and shake them up, and boom, voila, we got lemon pepper wings. I'm just letting you know that salt and pepper is pretty much the main ingredient in any meat. So what I'm going to do is, once I'm done, mixing that in and doing all this stuff, giving it a bath, because that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just giving it a bath. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about an hour. I suggest marinating your meat for at least 20 minutes to an hour, because I just feel like that's how all the seasons get in there. Like, you just can't just throw it on there and then throw it on the grill. I mean, you can, but it just ain't gonna hit the same. You need that seasoning to really, get happy. You need that seasoning to get all the way to the bone, okay? So this is me once I took it out. This is what it looked like. And this is my sous chef deciding to go ahead and put it on a grill. Y'all forgive him, he don't grill often, so he be a little nervous sometimes, but he a really good sous chef. So we're using tongs, and we're going to use tongs to help to flip the meat and cook the meat and all the things. Grilling is such a weird thing, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm always like, should I switch my, like, if you use, the same spatula to turn over raw meat, or the same tongs to, put the meat on the grill, raw meat on the grill, I get nervous about that too. But like, so is that cross-contamination? Like, are we going to get sick again? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you switch the tongs out? How is it supposed to work? I didn't grow up with switching out tongs and instruments and whatever. When I was growing up, we used whatever we had. Okay? So, we still here. And that's the important part. So anyway, we got a nice little, fire going, And so my grill temperature is about 350. Okay? I'm cool with that. Between 350 and 400, I'm pretty cool with that. We just kept flipping it until it was ready. Honey, I had such a good time. I love grilling. If you don't know this about me yet, just know that I really, really like grilling. Grilling is like my love language. Me and my uncle used to grill and just have and talk, and we used to put ribs on the grill. We put everything on the grill. And burgers and turkey burgers and hot dog and sausage and kebabs and peppers. I feel like, grilling is one of those things. It's kind of like, it bonds people. So anyway, this is what we do. Now, my sous chef is glazing the chicken with this mixture here. You cannot do it. You can do it. Just know that I would do it because it helps keep the seasonings in there, and it helps keep the chicken moist. He is using one of my silicone brushes. I definitely recommend those because it doesn't hold as much bacteria as the other ones. But whatever you want to do is fine. But anyways, so we doing this, and the wings are almost done. So he's going to put them on a top shelf for a little bit and just kind of let them cook a little longer. And the middle of the grill cook always faster, so you don't want to keep them there. You need to move around your wings so your wings don't burn. I let him do his thing, and that's kind of how it looked right there. That's it. And who wasn't the first person to bite into a wing? Me? Because why not? I'm a lady. Ladies go first. So this is the end product. This is what they look like. Really nice and crispy. I hope you try this at home.